they do describe, they are described like different Aelfin or the Aelfin are described as being unlike others that are maybe taller and dressed differently. And it does make you wonder, it's like, is it just because they kind of set up this thing, but in their world they are, some of them are born, if you will, exist with certain talents, similar to humans, and they've been given a talent, and the wheel is using them per se, right? Just like it uses every maybe individual that it gives these talents, and is aware of them, and in they're just part of the wheel, just like everybody else is, and they're part of the pull, if you will, of the wheel and of Tavir, and that show up in their realm. Which you can tell that really makes a difference to them. Like when Taviran arrive, they're just like, damn, this is the best. So there is some. I guess I hadn't put two and two together, which is just like, yeah, they're just other souls born with talents from the wheel to be able to do or see in a similar fashion, maybe, or not the same exact way, but in another way. I like that. So let's jump to the eelfin here. Uh, can you read this? I'm not sure if you can read my screen.
No, I can.
Yeah, go for it.
So the Eelfin, a race of beings largely human in appearance, but with fox-like characteristics, would grant three wishes, although they asked for a price in return. If the person asking did not negotiate a price, the Eelfin chose it. The most common price in such circumstances was death, but they still fulfilled their part of the bargain, although the manner in which they fulfilled it was seldom the manner the courtiers expected. Their true location was unknown, but it was possible to visit them by means of Ferangriel that was located in Viridian. They could also be reached by entering the Tower of Genjai. They spoke a harsh dialect of the Old Tongue, mentioned treaties and agreements, and asked if those entering carried iron, instruments of music, or devices that could make fire. They have existed as long as the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, this is another spot. Obviously the difference here at the top is they have a fox-like appearance, and they grant wishes versus, basically answering questions, if you will. And and they're very much both of these groups are very much about bargains, right? In the end of the day, they want to uh, basically make a deal with those people that show up. And do you think that that is an aspect? In other words, do you kind of perceive that there are other races, if you will, of beings across this universe that this is not the only of Tower of Genjai, that it shows up elsewhere, and that humans are just one version of the people that basically enter the realm? Or do you think this is like explicitly something that was built a connection basically from this world and it doesn't exist elsewhere?
I mean, if you think about other beings, we do know the Ogier came from another world too. So there is a possibility that the Ogier from their world could have showed up, you know, to Sindel through a Tower of Genjai or something. So there is that possibility that exists. Um, but it would have been nice if within the tower, when Matt was going around, there was another alien or something that they ran into, or something like that. But yeah, it's I think I don't think that is a possibility that we rule out.
Okay, I'm going to ask everybody: are there many towers of Genjai across worlds, or is this one unique? So I looked at that one. That poll should have worked properly. So I want to share this next thing. This is going to help kind of speed up some things we learned about this race of beings. We went a number of Theorylanders, friends of mine. We put together a variety of questions. We wanted to know answers because we argued about these facts for a long time. So I will say thanks to my friends for caring enough, because this answers a lot of questions that people just hadn't asked before about the Ilfin and Ilfin. And so one you've already heard, some of these answers ended up in the actual Wheel of Time Companion, specifically about souls, actually. So let me share this one. Uri, can you read these on the screen? Do you want to read this one?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Ted asks, have the Thane existed as long as the wheel? RJ says, yes. Do they have souls? Yes. Are the Thane from human stock? No. Do they originate from their current location? Yes.
Like I said, you've heard some of those answers already in the previous description of Wheel of Time Companion. When I saw that, it was like they have souls, and they've been in existence as long as the wheel. I was like, oh man, I was there. I remember those answers. And in addition, here's some more that I asked. Oh, actually, I will play this one. This is I'm going to play you an audio clip, just because we can, right? I have the audio clip, so why not? This is Robert Jordan answering my question. You might not be able to hear it like great, but it's the best I have because I'm playing it off of my computer. So it is what it is, everyone. Just enjoy this. And I'll post, the question I'm asking is the one I post at the top of this image here. So, but you can listen to Robert Jordan actually answer it. It's pretty fun.
Idea. Snakes and foxes seem to have a lot of power capabilities. Two quick questions. One, can they try to train migrate souls? And two, can they hold souls in individual communication? No.
No to both. You heard him. Hopefully, you heard him pretty clearly. I know it was probably a little bit light for some of you listening. I asked him but this is paraphrased because I was, which makes me laugh though, because I say like, I have two simple questions for you. And like, for me, it's like, can they transmigrate souls? Which, admittedly, maybe not a simple question for most people. And then, can they hold the soul of an individual they killed? And so no, those are not two abilities that they have. They can't transmigrate. They can't hold the soul of an individual. And to this other point here that Ted asked, a follow-up question, this was a separate one. These didn't come right after each other. I just included this one. He said, are they related to Teleronriad or do they control Teleronriad? And Robert Jordan's answer was, no, they do not. So, because a lot of these things we were wondering is like, do they exist in Teleronriad, And then it was like, no, they have a parallel world. And how do they get their power? Maybe they like pull it from Teleronriad. And it was like, no, they don't. Maybe they can transmigrate souls. That's why they hold souls and that's why they want them. He's like, nope, they don't do that either. And they're just other